Hey everybody, I'm going to be honest with you. Today has been a very challenging day around the office. We've been putting out fires left and right, not literally, but we've had some challenges today, and I want to completely change the mood. One of my favorite things to do is to just get weird and shoot a video. And that's exactly what we're doing today. Gabe's here with me as always, and we've got two pearls here that we're going to mix together. Two pearls that, for the most part, have no business being mixed together. The first one is none other than RL-71 Alien Pearl. This is an interference pearl. This is a very large particle pearl. Huge sparkle effect and shifts from like, what?
Purples, blues.
Purples and blues. Getting mixed into RL-71, a pearl that we have just recently discovered. It's a magical pearl. It's gorgeous. This is Copper Ghost Pearl from our buddies over at DipYourCar. Now, how would you describe Copper Ghost?
I'd say coppers with some very light red hues to it.
Yeah, it's not just copper. It's got like a bit of a micro shifting effect. Coppers to a little bit of like some rosy red. So RL-71 and Copper Ghost. Here's where things can get a little bit dangerous. As Gabe pointed out to me right before we started recording, interference pearls are very powerful. What we have here, as far as pigment load anyway, is 25 grams of RL-71, which I'll dump in right now, because we're going to use this whole bag, 12.5 grams per gallon, because as always, we're going to cut this with another gallon. RL-71. Now, when it comes to the Copper Ghost, super small particle, very potent. You should be able to see some of those blue and purple shimmers going off. Very glittery pearl. When it comes to the Copper Ghost, we don't know how much to add in. We've got two 5-gram bags here. Believe me, 5 grams of this pearl goes a long freaking way. What would you think? Do you think we go 5 or do you think we push the whole 10?
I say we start with 5. If we need more, we could always add more.
Start with 5, check it now, and if we need more now, add another 5, or start with 5, check it on the car.
Check it on the car.
All right, here's 5. Here's 5. I don't know how much, if at all, it's going to change the look, because interference pearl, specifically like this one, very, very small particle, it doesn't fire off. You don't really see the saturation or the color until it goes over a darker contrasting base. So we've got the S4 here. It's got a black base. When this whitish, copperish looking pearl goes over the black base, it's going to come to life. I'm not seeing that much.
Not a whole lot.
Stick of truth first?
Maybe stick of truth.
Stick of truth first. Then, the trick with interference pearls, and I've said this 1,000 times, but if you're new, the worst thing you can do when using interference pearls is put too much pearl down on the car too fast. There's no turning back. I'd much rather put a lower pigment load down and then add more coats. Because if you put too much interference pearl down on a dark base coat, it's not only going to start to yellow out, but you're going to start getting cloudiness, and there's no fixing that. So, stick of truth. I'm seeing the blues. I'm seeing the purples. I am not seeing the copper. I'm popping it in. We're going for it. Another 5 grams of Copper Ghost. We may not actually be able to see, this is so clumpy, dude. We may not actually be able to see the effect of the Copper Ghost until it goes over the black base, and that's the dangerous part. We may think that it's going to be really, really minimal effect, and then once it goes over the black, it may get just completely hairy. It looks a little bit something, right?
It's changed.
It's like not milkier. It's like dirtier?
And I feel like the blues and purples have gotten a little muted.
A little muted? All right, let's check the stick of truth again. I don't think we put more than 10 grams of Copper Ghost in there. That's just crazy. Not only just because of the copper, but because at that point we just might be way overloaded on pearl. Yeah, this is getting, it's getting something. All right. You can see it's not all the way mixed in there. I'm still seeing blue and purple domination with very little copper. So what do we do now? Do we continue adding copper or something until we see it on the stick of truth? Or do we just fire it on the car, and then if it's not there, then we add more?
I mean, if we add more, we're getting close to that limit of whiting out almost with that pearl.
That's a fail. But I mean, in my opinion, as far as the video is concerned, the biggest fail is it just looks like RL-71. It can't just look like RL-71. Copper has to play a role. All right, the only thing we can do right now is shoot a coat. If we add more, I'll let you know. Either way, I'll let you know. Let's go. All right, guys, we're all done with the project. Now, as we continue to mix, I wasn't really seeing enough copper ghost. I wanted to add more of it in. Gabe, thankfully, was the voice of reason and put his foot down. He's like, dude, we've got a ton of interference pearl in here right now. Any more, and we're really risking this entire project. So we started putting coats down. Thank goodness we didn't put any more pearl in, because after 2 coats, we had as much coverage as we wanted. Any more than that, and the interference pearl would have started whiting out and giving us that kind of pastel kind of vibe. We wanted to stay away from that. We wanted the depth. We wanted the richness. Now, what is the copper ghost doing with the RL-71? It's a very small particle pearl. The RL-71 is very large, and what it looks like it's doing is the copper ghost is kind of filling in the spaces between the larger particle RL-71, if you can visualize that. It's also adding a lot of warmth to the color. How much of that you guys are gonna be able to pick up on the camera, I'm not sure. But these projects, these experiments are not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about us having fun, trying things, and seeing if it works out. With that said, I'm taking the car outside right now, and I want you to do me a favor. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Rate this car 1 through 5. Let me know if you see a difference. Let me know if you think it was worth it. I read every comment that I can, and I love your guys' feedback. If you want to dip your own car, you know what to do. Click right up here. We have kits to help you dip everything. Emblems, wheels, you know the deal. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you guys on the next video.